I already know I'm gonna piss some people off with this one, but we gotta talk because this lady hopped on the internet and said being a single mom by choice is one of the most empowering things a woman can do. Like, I'm sorry, like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? So, what world are we living in where creating a broken home on purpose is not a badge of honor? And this is exactly why we are where we are in society today. And this isn't empowerment. This is selfishness, and all I hear is me, and me. But check it out.
I feel like the misogynists are going to eat me up for saying this, but I feel like one of the most empowering things a woman can do is be a single mother. Aside from being child free and never marrying, and the woman who lives a life of leisure while she's married and still remains child free, I feel like third place definitely goes to single moms, but society loves to bash women with kids so much that y'all don't want to admit it. There is nothing like a one and done mom or a woman with two kids tops who has her own financial income, her own financial freedom, and she's thriving in life still with her autonomy. There's nothing like it. I don't care what y'all say. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I feel like the women who remain child free and never marry, they are definitely top place. And then second place definitely goes to the women who play the game, still get married, live a life of leisure, and remain child free. I mean, that's perfect. But we're not gonna leave the single women out here who are one and done, who go and get their own money. They still have their autonomy and they still get to experience motherhood, because there are some women who genuinely want to just have kids and y'all can't bash them for that. You know what I'm saying? Women who seriously still just want to have a baby, they want to experience motherhood, we can't bash them for that. And I feel like that's why I'm always telling women to just go get a donor. If you genuinely want children and you want to experience motherhood, go get a donor. But I always have to remember that me personally, I do not aspire to co-parent in any capacity, not even in the healthiest marriage. I do not want to co-parent. I don't want to share a kid with a man. That's just me though. But I highly recommend women start to get donors more when they genuinely want to be a parent. And I feel like it's the most empowering thing that women can do. Single mom by choice with a donor, I don't know. I feel like it eats.
All right, all right. So let me get this straight. First place goes to the women who are child free and never married. Second place goes to the married woman who live a life of leisure and still don't have kids. And third place, y'all ready? Goes to single moms who choose it. Like, are you serious? So you got a woman out here ranking life paths like it's a tier of list for Call of Duty. And how do we get to a place where having a child with no father in the household is considered empowering? So let's just say what nobody wants to say. Kids raised in single mother households on average struggle more. That's just a fact. We talking facts. They're more likely to go to jail. They're more likely to drop out of school, more likely to be emotionally unstable, and more likely to end up dependent on the system. And don't hit me with the not all single moms quote. Yeah, we know not all, but most. That's when the numbers show based on the data and statistics. So when you come on the internet saying it's empowering to do that on purpose, you lost me because you're not empowering kids, you're not empowering the next generation, you're empowering yourself at the cost, at the detriment of the child who didn't ask to be here, let alone I have seen head on where a woman would definitely leave for the simple fact that it's more about themselves than the best interest of the child, because we know majority of the time the men are the one trying to hold the relationship together, but since the woman is so emotionally in her emotions and so emotionally reactive to the point where she can't even put her child best interest, then how do you not question if she doesn't have emotional intelligence not to divide a family and put the child in a broken home just because of her selfish reasons, because she don't feel happy, just like we know through life growth is not linear. It has ups and downs. The same thing with whatever relationship you in, with your spouse, with your boyfriend, with your child, with your family as a whole. It all equals the same thing when it comes to growing. There's no single one path shoot up to just happiness and it stays there, right? The beauty of it is y'all go through ups and downs together as a union, the man being the leader, the woman being over the woman, and then the woman being over the children, and then y'all have a foundation being together, because then you have that feminine energy and that masculine energy, which overall pours into the child and it gives it a balance rather than emotional instability, right? So let's just call it for what it is. Feminism told women that being a mom is optional, that men are optional, that kids can thrive just fine without a dad. And it's all lies because y'all got this backwards. You don't sacrifice your kid's future for your peace because, first of all, the child didn't ask to be here, right? So a man will die for his family. And they say a woman in this culture, the saying goes, she'll sacrifice her family for her happiness, right? And this ain't about what's best for the child, it's about what's most convenient for her. And when convenience isn't knocking on her door, then she want to be upsy outsy daisy, flee the whole family scene, flee the whole scene, destroy the family based on emotions, right? So if everything is based on your emotions, then how can you be logical and having the best interest of the child if your emotions continue to take over every time it comes to the best interest of the child? And every time your emotions supersedes your child best interest in the first place, where you are so out of whack when it comes to your emotions that you can't even look past them if you really love on your child and really make sure your best interest, the best interest of the child is being upheld. Because love is not what you say, love is an action, right? And a child focuses on what you do, not just what you say, but they listen to more of what you do, right? And I'll give you an example, right? Me being a father, the way I would treat my child's mother is the way he would be seen to treat a woman because I have a young man, I have a son, right? So now let's flip it. If I had a daughter, basically how I would treat her mother would obviously be the same way I would treat her, right? Because then she will be seeing how a man is supposed to treat a woman when she's a woman, a young lady. So if my son's mother is his first love, his ideal of a woman, then I will obviously model how you supposed to respect a woman and also lead and also have the best interest of your family as a whole, because we all know as men, majority of the time, or 99.9% of the time, we put ourselves last and we put everyone first, sacrificing for the best interest of everybody, making sure everybody's taken care of. So you out here casually creating kids with no father, no identity, no balance in the household, and acting like that's cute. This is the problem. This is emotional irresponsibility disguised as empowerment, and you're not making a power move. You're making a selfish move that this kid got to live with the rest of his or her life. Donor babies grow up with questions you can't answer, and the real flex isn't choosing to be a single parent; it's choosing to be intentional and responsible. Right. So the crazier part is, she literally said she doesn't want to co-parent in any capacity, not even in a healthy marriage. That's not boundaries, sis. That's not healing. That's a control issue. You don't want to share parenting, but you want to have a kid. That's like saying I want to run a business but never deal with employees. It don't work like that. So you trying to custom build a fantasy life that leaves the child stuck in reality. So let's stop pretending kids are vibes. They're not lifestyle props. They're not healing projects. They're not there to make you feel more whole. And if you don't want to co-parent, don't have kids. If you don't want a man involved, don't create a situation where a child grows up without one just because you feel like it. You can be child free. You can live a soft life. No one's stopping you. But once you make the choice to bring a child into this world, it's not about you no more. So I'm just speaking for the fathers out there. The moment a man becomes a dad, he knows this ain't about me no more. The child comes first, always. But now we got women who want to be moms without the man, without the sacrifice, without the shared responsibility. You're not trying to be a parent, you're trying to own a child. And that's dangerous, that's delusional, and that's not empowering. To me, it comes off very narcissistic. This is why men, majority of the time, you see on social media, TikTok, wherever, are speaking up more when I do come across to see them on the screen on social media, because this modern movement is creating more damaged kids than ever before. Nobody wants to hold women accountable. But look, I will. You don't got to make a life altering decision that affects a child forever and then play the don't judge me card. You made the choice, so take the responsibility. And here's the truth, that hurts. Not everything that feels good is right. How many times have people have succumbed to their pleasures, but it never yield no real results to actually make real life choices so they can actually have a good life? Not everything that looks empowered is responsible. Being a single mom by choice might sound strong on paper, but in reality, you stacking the odds against the child before they even get here. So yeah, I said that this ain't empowerment. It's selfishness dressed in feminism. But go ahead, let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comments. Argue in the comments if you want. I'll be here with the facts while y'all living y'all feelings. But drop your thoughts. I really want to get you guys' opinion. I'm always open to the perspective of being wrong, but I stand very strong and passionate on this one. But like if you agree, dislike if you mad. I don't really care. Hit subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for more truth, not trend. We done here, family. On that note, family, I'm out. Peace.